Okay, so taking a look at BlackBerry stock, we have this 3-month movement chart overall where we came down, bounced off the support level as of December 2020, January 2021, went up to the upside, came back down, bounced off May of 2021 as well, 2 touch points right here, went up to the upside, came back down, got stuck by this downward trend resistance line right here. Yes, a false breakout, but even after the fact, went up, got knocked down, went up, got knocked down, then broke through the downward trend resistance line while forming a channel, and bounced off basically 980, 970, 960, and then got knocked down at 1080, 1090, $11 price point, just down, up, down, up, down, up, non-stop. Then got stuck by the moving averages and then broke through the support channel. Unfortunately, the markets are down, the futures are down as well. So I think I'm expecting more downside, and to visually show what the overall movement is, expecting to come down and bounce off the support level for the 3rd time like we have for the past 2 times. And if that does happen, let's just say it drops down like a rock right now, you could still enter roughly around the $8.80 range. That still does leave the door open for 870, 860 as well, just because it's a 3-month chart, so the price point is a little bit compressed overall. And if you were taking a look at this downward trend resistance line right here, this only has 2 touch points, so take this with a grain of salt. It's not a guarantee that it'll be knocked down, but if it were to spike up right now, you're looking at maxing out at $15 price point, relatively speaking, the high $14 price point, and almost a clean $15 price point, almost relatively speaking, but nonetheless the low $15 price point. Now the thing is though, if you look at the overall movement, so right now this RSI chart, by the way, this indicates if it's overbought or oversold. Right now it is in the oversold territory, so you could hypothetically get a bounce back up. That's what I was expecting, because I myself entered at 989 and 967, a small position at 989 and relatively really good position at 967. Unfortunately, it's not bouncing off this support level, and it broke through, so I'm expecting more downside, even though it is in oversold territory, because the futures are down for the market and the markets are relatively coming down for the trading day, unfortunately. Today's August 17th, but August 16th to close at 967, pre-market's down a little bit. Now, if you look at the 1-year chart right about here, you can see the MACD line. This indicates if it's a bearish or bullish movement. It was in the positive, it was bullish, but it looks like it's going to be crossing over. It doesn't have to cross over, not a guarantee, but I'm going to show something else to show why it'll be most likely crossing over. So right now, if it crosses over, it'll be in the negative, indicating a bearish movement, and that won't be optimistic. And then if you look at the 5-year chart right here, this is, like I've stated in the past, is still in the negative, still bearish, still indicating the bearish movement overall, so not optimistic, and indicating more of you have time to enter if you want to be patient. It's not a guarantee, but we can see it's bearing fruit right now. Now, in terms of the overall movement, the question is, can it go lower than 880, essentially 860, 870? It can. The only problem is, if it does, it would be a little bit worrisome, because then what we have to hope for the reversal to the upside is essentially earnings, which in my opinion is just going to be okay for this earnings coming up, which is the end of September. But what we could be hopeful for is the patent sale, which has a good chance to come out in the end of earnings. The only thing is though, I'll be posting a video out on Thursday, hopefully, because I went through the transcripts once again just to make sure, and unfortunately I made a mistake where they stated that there's a good chance it will come out in Q2, but the problem is, well, they didn't state that, but based off what I was reading between the lines, the problem is they kind of left the door open where it's Q3 is a potential where the patent sale could be completed, and that would be at the end of December. I'm still confident that, or hopeful, I would say, not necessarily confident anymore based off reading the transcript, but Q2, which is the end of September, it'll come out. But the problem is there is a chance for end of December where it could come out. So if that's the case, what I'm trying to state is, if the patent sale does not come out, and I'm expecting a okay earnings coming out, which I'll review in the future before the earnings comes out, like make a video about it. If that's the case, then the stock will be pulled down even lower. And let's just say the markets go down before the earnings comes out, where it's just okay. We could go down to 840 to 850 range, more predominantly 847 to 843, $8.43, $8.47. We could go lower. There is support at like the 830 range, and support at the $8 price point, the clean $8 price point. Now the problem is, if earnings is not great, it could get pulled down lower, and where we could even bounce off $7.97, which I've covered I think 2 months ago, where right about here where we dropped down. The problem about hitting $7.97, which I think we hit $7.97 and bounced back up during this time frame, is the second you break $8, you're going to come back down lower, which is what happened right about here, I believe. So if that happens, we might hit 797 because the markets bounce back up. Earnings is not that great, get pulled back down because essentially not even just earnings wasn't that great. We broke through $8 and head down lower. Now, I don't think that whole entire spiel will happen because I think most likely we'll bounce off the 880. Pretty confident about it, but that's just my opinion. Like always, quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, not a professional. Everything I do share with you is just my opinion. It is not advice. So please do your own due diligence and research before buying and selling. So that's basically what I have for the video. Hopefully I answered everything, like I covered everything. I feel like I'm missing something, but if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. And if you like this video and find it helpful, consider dropping a like. It does help with the channel, so thank you so much for that. And if you like videos like this or other stock videos, other financial videos, consider subscribing so be notified when I do upload those videos. And that's basically it. Thanks again for watching. Appreciate it. I'll see you next video. Peace.